Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, December 10th. The strong coastal storm that slowly moved up the mid-Atlantic coastline yesterday has stalled out across southern New England, and we're not quite done with its effects yet. There's a little piece of upper-level energy rotating around now this morning across the Ohio Valley. That'll actually help to reinvigorate the upper-level low over the next few hours. The result will be some snow shower activity across much of the mid-Atlantic region, especially north and east of the Mason-Dixon line, places like eastern Pennsylvania. The Poconos last night received a couple of inches of snow, and certainly more snow, accumulating snow, is headed for that part of Pennsylvania over the next few hours. We'll take a look at this upper level energy over the next couple of minutes and how that will continue to cause lingering effects right into tomorrow. It won't be until Friday before this upper level low finally relinquishes to high pressure, and it looks like a dry weekend is coming to the mid-Atlantic region with slightly milder conditions by the latter part of the weekend. Well, let's take a look at the latest surface map, and here's that original coastal storm that has stalled out over southern New England. Notice, however, a little bit of a reflection of another low pressure down here to its south. This may actually take over here as upper level energy over the Ohio Valley rotates around, and it tends to intensify. Certainly it intensifies the upper air low over the next few hours, and we'll kind of focus in on that whole sequence of events over the next couple of minutes. Notice a lot of cyclonic flow here on the backside of this low. Strong winds today continue in the I-95 corridor, up to 30 mile per hour or so in terms of wind gusts out of the north and northwest. And again, with the decent chance of some snow showers, possibly mixed with rain at times, especially from Pennsylvania, Maryland on north and east. Well, here's the latest radar loop, and a couple things I want to point out. First of all, kind of a big gap right here, right in the middle of New England here, almost associated with right where that surface low is, but still a lot of moisture flowing in off the Atlantic Ocean and rotating around. Not much in the way at all of echoes here across the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Philadelphia. Maybe a little bit here now showing up across the Poconos. I expect this area to expand rapidly over the next couple of hours, and by midday and certainly the afternoon, will be a likelihood of some rain and snow shower activity all the way down into east central Pennsylvania, and most likely all the way down into the northern western suburbs of Philadelphia. So again, this radar should kind of show some intensifying echoes here over the northeastern part of Pennsylvania, and then all the way down into southeastern Pennsylvania by the midday and afternoon hours. The D.C. area can see an isolated shower of rain or snow later on today, but again, the greatest chance will be north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. Well, here's the latest water vapor imagery. It's colorized water vapor imagery using the GOES East satellite data. Two main things I want to point out. First of all, you can kind of tell here there's still a long fetch of air bringing lots of Atlantic moisture right into the New England area this morning, and that, again, some of that moisture will rotate around as the surface low has stalled out. But the most important feature here, a little bit of a feature right here at the end, diving southeastward into Ohio, and this represents some energy in the upper part of the atmosphere that will just simply rotate around and really help to reinvigorate this upper level low over the next several hours, and in turn that will make the atmosphere quite unstable, resulting in the possibility of some decent snow shower activity from midday on, especially north and east of the Mason-Dixon line. Perhaps even an isolated heavier snow squall or two will form later on today, especially across northeastern Pennsylvania. So we'll have to watch the situation. Still a lot of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere to work through over the next 12 to 24, even 36 hours or so. Well, let's take a look at a few computer forecast maps using last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. This actually is the forecast at 500 millibars, the upper level pattern for right now, right about early this morning. And a small feature here, but it's an important feature I want to point out. Notice this little bit of yellow showing up here over the Ohio Valley. That kind of represents that little piece of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere that we just saw indicated by the water vapor imagery. This is an important player, as again it just wraps around this upper level low and helps to reinvigorate this, and this will strengthen significantly over the next 6 to 12 hours or so. In fact, let's take a look at the forecast map for early this evening, 12 hours later, at the 500 millibar level, and we'll see the big changes here. And here it is. This is the forecast map of 500 millibars for early this evening. And notice the intensification, the kind of the closing off of that upper level low. Again, we go from this right now to this by early tonight in a 12-hour period, thanks to that second shortwave moving through the Ohio Valley right now. Really strengthens this. And that's why we're not out of the woods yet. We still have that chance for some wraparound, backlash type snow shower activity, perhaps even heavier snow squall to, again, primarily from Pennsylvania, Maryland border on north and east. The atmosphere will remain quite unstable throughout the day today and tonight and into the day on Thursday. Well, let's now look at some surface computer forecast maps from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. This is early this afternoon and will go 24 hours to early tomorrow afternoon in 6-hour increments. Again, early this afternoon, just wanted to point out, notice the precipitation depicted here by the GFS model all the way into east central Pennsylvania, and even some heavier precipitation here up across northeastern Pennsylvania and northwestern New Jersey, all associated with that intensifying upper level low. Let's now jump ahead 6 hours. And here it is for the early tonight. Still the low pressure in the same situation, same location over southern New England. But notice here the GFS putting out a little decent precipitation band up across northeastern Pennsylvania and some lighter precipitation all the way down into the Philadelphia suburbs later on today, as the upper level low continues to strengthen. Now here's the forecast map for late tonight, just after midnight here. Still strong low pressure spinning over the northeastern part of the U.S. Still precipitation depicted here by the GFS model all the way down into southeastern Pennsylvania. Again, a strengthening upper level low at this time. And what tends to happen with a storm like this that basically stalls out, it tends to weaken with time and spread out, so its effects may actually go a little farther to the south later on today, tonight, and on the day on Thursday as it spreads out in the dying phase of this particular storm. And here's the forecast map for tomorrow morning. The surface low pressure starting to weaken a little bit now. Again, this is tomorrow morning, and notice now precipitation all the way down into the northern part of Maryland. Again, when the surface low finally weakens and occludes, we tend to see a spreading out of its moisture field, and there can be a snow shower all the way down into northern Maryland. Certainly later on today, but even on the day on Thursday, there can be a snow shower all the way down into the northern part of Maryland and Virginia. Finally, for tomorrow afternoon, still some precipitation all the way down into northern Maryland, depicted here by the GFS model. The surface low slowly weakening and still spinning over the northeast U.S. Finally, on Friday, that low will weaken enough to allow for high pressure to build into the mid-Atlantic region. And the weekend looks pretty nice right now up and down the I-95 corridor with dry weather and slightly milder conditions by the latter part of the weekend. But for the next day or two, we still have quite an unstable atmosphere, still the chance for wraparound snow shower activity, especially from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border on north and east. And there can even be a heavier snow squall or two. Stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for any possible updates later on today. I'm meteorologist